Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Tinkercad where you learn how to design a print-ready 3D traffic cone, and you will also learn about the work plane option that is present on Tinkercad with the help of today's design. So let's go ahead and get started. Uh, if you've already noticed a traffic cone, it is hollow on the inside with a small opening at the top of the cone, and the cone is placed on a rounded off square sort of base. So let us go ahead and create that design. So for the base, I'll left click and drag a box onto my work plane. I will then go ahead and adjust its dimensions. So clicking on this square right here, I can adjust the height of this box. I'll adjust the height to, let's say, 4 mm, and the length and width on either side, I'll adjust them to 30 mm each. Okay, so with this we have our base on the work plane. Let us go ahead and fit view to selected shape so that we can have a closer look at the base. So now if you notice, this base has sharp pointy edges, but we want rounded off edges, for which we will select this base, and from the drop down that is present on the right side of this particular shape, we are going to click on this, we are going to navigate our slider that is next to the radius option. So what radius is going to do is it is going to round off the edges, and if you will take it far away on this line, this shape can also be converted to a circular disc. So we will just move the slider right amount of edge that we want to be rounded off. And if you notice that there is steps option also present, so what steps basically do is they define how fine the edges are going to be. If you notice that faintly visible steps you can see on the edges. So in order to have a smoothly printed design which does not have steps but more number of steps to essentially give it the rounded off shape. So you need to use the radius option in this one. In case if you want to have a very smooth rounded off edge, you can use the steps option also, increase the number of steps, because decreasing the number of steps are going to result in a shape like this with unevenly rounded off edges. So the more number of steps means the finer our design will come out to be. Now let's go back to home view. With our base ready, we would now want to mount the cone onto our base. So there are two options to mount the cone onto the base. One is you can left click and drag a cone onto the work plane, and then with this triangle option that comes with every object, you can increase its distance from the work plane to exactly 4 mm and then mount it on the base that we've created. Or you could simply click on work plane, assign the topmost part of this base that we've created as the work plane for any other changes that we would like to make, that is add the cone onto the work plane. So what we are going to do is we will basically be clicking on the work plane tool and then assigning this topmost part as the work plane, and then whatever we mount will automatically be mounted onto this area, because this area is now the work plane. So let's try it out. Let's click on work plane. Now you see the work plane is active, and if I bring it onto the screen, you'll see with the pointer there is a plane sort of structure. So simply place it onto the base by clicking on it, and then you can go ahead, left click and drag a cone. You need not position it anywhere because it will be exactly positioned on top of our base. Now we simply need to increase its height a little. Yeah, so with this we've increased the height of our cone a little, and now we will again click on work plane and then tap anywhere on the void that is present next to the work plane for the work plane that we had created on the topmost part of our base to vanish. So now if you can see, we have a cone and we have the base ready. Let's align it properly. Let's align the cone in the center, for which we have selected the entire thing, and I'll now click on the align option that is present here. I will then be clicking on this button right here, and with this we have our cone properly aligned in the center of the base. Now what we want is a small opening at the top of this cone, and the cone to be hollow, for which what we are going to do is we will first be grouping both the objects. If you select both the objects, you can see shapes mentioned here are two, which means there are two shapes right now standing on top of each other. What we are going to do is we are going to convert them into one shape, for which we will hit the group option now, and we should have one single shape ready. It is taking a little time to process, but if you click on it now, the shapes mentioned will be only one. There's only one shape now. Okay, and it is placed exactly on the workplane. Okay, so let's go ahead and duplicate this shape. I'm sorry, let's hit duplicate. So after hitting duplicate, there will be one more shape present at the exact place that this one is right now. So I am going to lift it up a little using this triangular option that is present here. I am going to lift it just the right amount, so that the cone that is below will get subtracted from the cone that is above, and thereby making the cone a hollow one. So using this triangular option, I have lifted my cone up a little. Now the next task would be to select the cone that is under, for which I will now click on it. After clicking on it, I'll click on hollow. Now that it's hollow, I am going to select, okay, one second, let's first make sure that they are properly aligned. In order to be double sure, you can anyway select both of them, hit on align, and I see that there is no option visible right now to align them, which means that they are properly aligned. So now I'm going to select both the cones, and I'm going to hit on group. Hitting on group when one of the object is a hollow one will subtract the hollow object from the solid object. So what is going to happen now is the previous cone is now going to get subtracted. The hollow cone is now going to get subtracted from the solid cone, and it is, I don't know why, but it's taking a little time to process. So the results will be ready in a couple of seconds, I guess. Let us go ahead and prep for the hollow space that we want at the top also, for which we will simply drag a hollow cylinder onto our work plane. Let us increase its height and reduce the dimensions on either side to say 3 each. Okay. Okay, yeah. So now the cone that we had lifted up is a hollow one. You can have a look at it from below. It just took a little time to process. Now you can simply bring it back onto the work plane, or you can enter the number as 0 here, so it will be on the work plane. Now what is left to be done is simply selecting both of them, hit align, align this hollow cylindrical pipe in the center, and then again go ahead, select the entire thing, hit on group, So as earlier, this one is also going to take some time to subtract itself out of the cone. And with this, we will have a hollow cone, a holographic cone that that is print ready, that is hollow from the inside, is mounted on a square rounded off base, has a cone on top of it, and a small opening at the top of the cone as well. Okay, there it's ready. So you can now have a look at it from the bottom, and you'll be able to see that there's a small opening like this. So with this, we have a traffic cone ready. For the color variants that are present on the traffic cone, that is a combination of orange and white. You can always use different kinds of filament, as and when you'll be printing it on a 3D printer. So that is what the design is, and for the color variation to be present, you just need to use a different colored filament for it. So that's it. Try this out yourself. Happy tinkering.